Good afternoon, I'm Tyler Danberg. NFL Network reported the Bills plan to promote offensive coordinator Joe Brady to head coach. He's been in Buffalo since 2022. Rams pass game coordinator Nate Schillhouse interviewed for the Bills job Monday, the same day he met in person with the Browns in L.A. Men's college hoops, Ohio State staved off Penn State 84-78 Monday. Buckeyes led by 18 at the half before the Nittany Lions cut the lead to as low as 1 in the second. John Mobley Jr. notched 25 points, his fourth straight 20-point game. But head coach Jake Diebler said his hot stretch isn't an accident.
He wants to be coached. He wants to be a great player. He loves ball, and he's a worker. When you combine those things, and he's certainly got talent, right? That's where you get consistency.
Buckeyes 14-6 and visit Wisconsin Saturday at 2. This update sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com. Stop snoring. Sleep better. Live better.
From Learfield, this is the Jake Diebler Show, presented by Roosters, a fun casual joint, and brought to you statewide by Encova Insurance and by the American Dairy Association Mideast on the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics. Now, along with Coach Jake Diebler and former Ohio State captain Ron Stokes, here's the voice of the Buckeyes, Paul Keels.
It's been so long since we were all together chatting about Ohio State basketball. Thanks for joining us today for the Jake Diebler Show on the heels of last night's 84-78 win for Ohio State over Penn State. Jake, thanks as always for your time. And let's begin by what you began with us when you came on the air right after the game, thanking everybody involved for making sure that game occurred last night.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it's what a crazy few days out there, right? I don't mean to age anybody in this room, but you guys might remember the last time we got snow, or probably even worse than this. I wasn't born yet, Ron, I don't think. So,
blizzard of 77.
77 and 78.
Yeah. But, listen, it was even obviously getting the game off was important. Big Ten schedules are so condensed as it is, and then you start to look at TV implications and all that stuff. So, that was important. But I tell you what, the day before, being able to actually get in the building and practice, from the people here on campus, our building, right? It took a whole team effort to make it happen. And we were, certainly grateful for everybody who helped with that. And then, we had more fans in there than I thought we were going to.
Agreed.
To be honest with you, I was really impressed. And certainly thankful to the Buckeyes who showed up and the students, the Nut House. I mean, I didn't know what to expect, anticipated it not being great. But I'll tell you what, I thought there was some good energy in there. We gave them reason to be a little quiet there in the second half. But they stuck with us, and we picked it back up there down the stretch. But, yeah, just thankful to everyone who was able to help out, and just really, really grateful for all the people involved.
Coach, there's so many things that you want your team to continue to improve on. One you brought up is to have better starts, and based on what we've seen, I think your team has reacted to that. What are some of the things that has led to your team having better starts to games?
Yeah, well, I think our pace has been good to start games. I think our defensive execution's improved, and our rebounding's been better to start games. We didn't rebound well enough in the second half last night, but we did rebound well in the first half. And, I would say turnovers, but I think we had 4 turnovers in the first 5 minutes, and really some wild ones. It felt like, but. I think just execution, Ron, and kind of what we're doing from a game plan standpoint, guys being able to execute that. We've done some things to try to pick up the momentum of the game early with pressing and things. So our guys have really bought into it. And we've been able to get off to some really good starts.
One of the big storylines last night was injuries and the people that you were, without. And you knew going into your shoot-around you were going to be a little limited, but then even after you shoot around, you became even more limited.
I'll tell you what, you look down the bench, you saw all those guys in their sweatsuits. If they were healthy, that'd be a heck of a squad down the bench. Listen, this time of year, I think your team's ability to handle adversity is critical. We got dealt some before the game. We didn't really have time to prepare on the floor for it. But yeah, I was really impressed with how our guys responded and guys stepped up. It got harder as the game went on with foul trouble, because now we were running some lineups that we have not practiced. You had 5 guys in those 5 spots before, so timeouts were critical for us to be able to talk through some things and make some adjustments. And our guys kept battling. We lacked. We lacked some bite defensively there for the first 10 minutes of the second half. I think some of the foul trouble, made us a little less aggressive. But we gotta handle that better. But I'm just, Amari played, tons of minutes at the 5. We had guys shifting around different spots, guys playing different spots and on defense than they weren't used to. And just the sign of a connected group, the sign of a mature group, and a team that's built to handle adversity well.
When you go back to Ivan Nagovin starting this basketball game, Coach, and Paul just mentioned, during the shoot-around, wasn't necessarily sure that he knew that potentially could happen. But what is the process of you talking to a player that at shoot-around he's expected to come off the bench, but then at the last moment he's going to be a starter? Do you do anything differently to prepare him for that role?
I think next man up, Ron. That's kind of what we talk about, and just told him, hey, you're the next man up. So
that's simple, huh?
Be yourself. I think in those moments, just play to your strengths. Be yourself, and we believe in you. And I think he knows that. There wasn't a this like long, motivational speech necessary. I mean, he was ready, and he was ready to step up for his team, and that's why we practice and prepare to handle adversity well, and he was an example of that. I mean, Taysom stepped up and had his best game of the year, and like Devin was shifting around out there, Mari was shifting around, Bruce was even shifting around, Puff I thought gave us some really good minutes. So contributions from everybody, certainly.
And when you think about Taysom Chapman, a young man who's had to deal so much with injury, had to be great to see what he did on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, no question. I mean, I think for us, we've been really pushing him to be more aggressive, to be more consistent, and to defend better. And he did all of those things last night, which was really encouraging to see. That's why he got more opportunity as the game went on, because he was playing with an aggressiveness. He had a couple big-time defensive plays. He got a steal underneath the basket, dug the ball out. He came over and protected the rim with great technique and didn't foul, forced a miss, and was involved at the end of the shot clock play. So those are the type of things, and being aggressive offensively, that we've been asking him to do, and he hasn't done them. With the consistency required. He put it together for a game, and he's earned opportunity because of that moving forward. And now he's got to, continue to do that and raise his level. We know what he's capable of, because he showed us last night, and now he's got to keep going.
When you look at this Big Ten, Coach, Penn State got beat handily at home against Wisconsin, but at the same time, they were a shot away from defeating Michigan, who we all know how good they are. Any additional things you say to your team to just make sure they understand that you don't look at the record that a team comes in at 0-8 and take them lightly?
Yeah, our guys know, because we talk about how tough this league is, and as we're watching film and breakdown edits, you can pause the tape at any time and look at the score, and they had a shot to win it against the team up north. They played Purdue really tough on the road. Michigan State earlier in the season had a chance to win that game. And, although they had some rough stretches, they had also, played teams really tough in the second half. So that was another thing that we were anticipating. I like the way we played the first half, not the way we wanted to play to start the second half, but they had something to do with that, certainly, like they've shown really all season. So you knew they were going to fight, and we just had to find a way to win. with all we were dealing with, and our guys did.
If you have a question for Coach Diebler, you can submit it to our Union Home Mortgage inbox at ohiostatebuckeyes.com and click on Coach's Show inbox, Union Home Mortgage. Learn more about their 1% down payment program at uhm.com, NMLS number 2229. More of today's show presented by Roosters coming up on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
When it comes to your cancer diagnosis, the choice for your care is clear.
And when you choose the James at Ohio State,
you're opting for care from a highly specialized team dedicated to treating one type of cancer, yours.
A team that studies the unique makeup of your disease to develop a personalized treatment plan.
You're choosing our region's only comprehensive cancer center designated by the National Cancer Institute.
For your cancer care, the choice is clear. The James at Ohio State.
Hey, Ohio State fans! Next time that snack craving hits, Burger King has you covered with the O-Fry-O bundle. You get a medium fry, 8-piece chicken fries, 8-piece mozzarella fries, and an 8-piece chicken nuggets, all for just $10. It's perfect snack fuel for one, wherever and whenever you're cheering on the scarlet and gray. At BK, have it your way. You rule! Limited time only at participating Ohio area restaurants. BK is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Tax extra.
If you are a fighter, Modelo is your reward. So listen close. You stick to your coast at all costs. You never let traffic stop your drive. You aren't just a dreamer, you're a doer. You power through all of life's hills and valleys without hesitation. You're not looking to be discovered. You've already found your place. You are a fighter, and Modelo is your reward. You've earned every last drop of this rich golden lager, so raise it up high. Modelo, the mark of a fighter. Drink responsibly. Beer imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
Modern Office Methods, your authorized RICO dealer, can help your business optimize your print production with a competitive advantage. Our digital printing options will expand the type of paper and substrates from what your business can print on today. Add variable data capability, which allows for personalization of catalogs and mailers, and the ability for short-run label printing, which allows your business to print high volumes of custom labels quickly and on demand. Want to learn more? Start with a print assessment at momnet.com. Why risk it? You can count on Mom.
Running around is a requirement on the court, but it shouldn't be the norm for grocery shopping. Get everything in one place at Giant Eagle, with produce delivered daily, meat and seafood expertly cut by our team, and bread and desserts baked in store. Fresh is our thing. With My Perks rewards, everyday low prices, and weekly deals, saving is simple. Shop at Giant Eagle, a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. For freshness, quality, and savings in one stop, Giant Eagle, because it matters.
Life is more fun with a pal. So is pizza. So check out Donato's $5 Pizza Pals menu. Order any large pizza and add on your choice of a sub, salad, wings, a 10-inch pizza, and more for just $5 each. Order your favorite $5 Pizza Pals from Donatos.com today. More toppings, more flavor, more fun. Donatos. Gotta love more.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. You're listening to the Jake Diebler Show, presented by Roosters on the Ohio State Sports Network. Presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Welcome back to our show this week. Time for our Elk and Elk injury report. And however much you can tell us, Jake, I know there's got to be some optimism. The guys you didn't have last night, hopefully will be ready for Saturday afternoon.
Well, no one's been ruled out yet.
All right.
So that's a good place to start. We got guys utilizing today an off day to get in the training room and get some good recovery and treatment in. So, not a lot of more information than what we had last night, but nothing that I've been told from a standpoint of, hey, these guys are going to be out this weekend. So hopeful that we can gain some ground here the next couple days and get ready to maybe have a practice before a game that those guys can participate in.
All right, our injury report brought to you by Elk and Elk Injury Lawyers, dedicated to every client every day. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO.
Now, remember, Coach, Skip worked in the contract that whenever the players, the masseuse comes in, we're part of that.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
you should probably head downstairs. I think that's what they're getting some of that done today.
Really?
So,
okay.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
All right, so we're good to go down?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay,
Paul and I will cover the rest of the show.
That's right. That reminds me of another story to tell you later. Will in Columbus is start of our Union Home Mortgage Inbox list of questions. And he's kind of asking about what we were talking about previously with Taysom Chapman, but I'm going to audible on Will's question a little bit, and those who follow social media are aware of the routine you guys have with singing the fight song after the game, and just the short clip of Taysom being the guy you called out to do that last night, and not only just how he handled it, but the reaction of his teammates was priceless.
Yeah, I think guys were excited for him. And listen, our guys have been encouraging him and pushing him to step up too. And you know, he has an ability to really help this team. And you know, last night I think was an indication of what we can expect, and you know, moments of what we can expect if he can operate at a high level with some consistency. He's got it within him. You know, we've been pushing him, trying to get it out of him, and he's a great kid who's talented. And you know, I thought we saw just in a flow of one game a consistency on both sides of the floor that impacted winning. And that's the big thing I've challenged him with is impact winning. That's being aggressive offensively, you know, because he can score it. I know he hadn't scored it really in his opportunities yet, but he started to show more aggressiveness, which was good. And then defensively is an area that, you know, he needs to continue to work to improve on, and I thought he did some really good things defensively last night. So positive stuff for sure. And we've been asking guys to step up and raise their level, and last night he did, and you know, we need him to continue to do that.
There's a lot of similarities in parenting as it is in coaching. You know, sometimes you see things in your kids that they don't see just yet, and you're parenting them to get to that level. And in coaching, you've said before, Coach, that you want players who want to be coached, meaning they want to be pushed. And I heard what you just said about his teammates, because I think everyone knows that if Taysom Chapman can bring that type of energy and scoring, it's going to make your team better. Now, so he's had a good game. He's had some good practices. So here we are a couple of days away before you play Saturday. What's your approach with him now to make sure that he's continuing to get better?
Yeah, well, I think, you know, highlighting with him on film what it looks like, right? The defensive plays he had and celebrating those. You know, the where his opportunities came offensively. I thought all shots were good. You know, so I think just showing him, letting him see himself being successful out there is what we'll do here in the next couple days. And then, you know, I even told him after the game, I said, just, you know, proud of you for being ready and stepping up. Now let's build on this. Like, let's compound this and get some momentum here. You know, let's not revert back. So I'm excited to see how he approaches, you know, practice these next few days and heading into the Wisconsin game, because, you know, we really feel like if he approaches things like he did for this game and does that, he can really help us.
With this run that John Mobley's on, 4 straight with 20 or more points, what are some of the things you see that are leading to his elevated play? Yeah,
he's playing with a great deal of poise right now. I don't know that he ever lacked confidence, but he's playing confident basketball. I think his decision making, aside from just a couple of those turnovers last night, has been really good. And you know, for me, what he and I talk a lot about is just the pace he's playing at when he has the ball. So what can he do to slow himself down? Well, we talk about utilizing fakes and jab steps. Like last night, he hit a double jab 3. You know, so I think we're seeing the stuff he's working on really start to carry over. But the most important thing for him is just playing with better pace when the ball's in his hands. And sometimes better pace means actually playing a little bit slower. And so he's doing that. His poise in the paint has been really good. He's not getting sped up and off balance. And so I think he's doing a great job, and he's being aggressive. He's being a better mover off the ball at times. I mean, Bruce created for him there once or twice last night. So it's just he's playing a complete game. And on top of that, the points, what's not showing up, although last night he had 2 or 3 steals, I think his on-ball defense has continued to get better and better. So he was impactful last night. for especially in the first half and parts of the second half. He's got to continue to grow in some other areas defensively, but he has grown and has gotten better, and that makes us better, certainly.
Coach, being the head coach, there's so much going on while you're on the sideline. When there's a lineup that's out there that's working and it gave you positive minutes, who's responsible for making sure that maybe they plant that in your ear so that you maybe go back to it in the second half?
Yeah, Dave Dickerson helps a lot with the substitutions. And then, a lot of it for us, too, is managing fatigue at times, right? Managing fouls. That goes into, certainly how you substitute, because even though a lineup may be struggling, you might have to put it back in at some point because of foul trouble or whatever, or you slide someone else in, make an adjustment. But, yeah, Dave helps a lot with that stuff.
And going back to what you said earlier, how unique was that last night with everything you had going on?
Yeah, that was we huddled up, a couple of us before the game, and really broke down some of our or at least our approach and rhythm to our lineups, because we obviously had some major changes. So the plan we had in the morning had to get adjusted in a big way. But I thought our staff, did a great job. We talked a lot about the players, obviously, adjusting and managing. I thought the staff did a great job too, and it was great to see just how focused our group was. As we found out some guys were out. They were focused. Guys stepped up, and both the staff is included in that.
Coach, the game is so important, but there's other things that are more important in the game. Can you tell us a little bit about what went into the shoes that you guys were wearing and so forth?
Yeah. This is the second year in a row, and Coach Simons actually brought this idea over with him from Baylor, where we've, partnered with Nationwide and provided some blank white shoes for some kids who have cancer to design, and then we learn about who they are, their story. We get to spend some time either with them or their families or both, and have them as guests to a game. And we do this in partnership with Coaches vs. Cancer, who's raised a ton of money for awareness, and coaches across the country are utilizing their platforms to bring awareness. So, I think it's an easy one, Ron, to be honest with you, to be able to have that opportunity and do that and spend time. And again, you think you're helping other people, but, you spend time with a little girl who's, driving 2 hours to get to Columbus once a week and doing chemo, and she's smiling. She's got energy. She's like, it's the most humbling and just, it impacts us a great deal too. So really cool. It was great to have. We had some of the families and kids at the game last night. Was really cool. Again, I got to wear some shoes from a guy named Briley from Athens, which was really, really great to represent that. I actually still have my shoes from last year, where I got to wear shoes that Charlie designed, and she's no longer with us, but those shoes at her request actually are in a glass box in my office.
Wow.
That's what she wanted, one of the things she said she wanted. So, and have had conversations with her family as well. They're doing some things up in Northwest Ohio for kids with. So it's I think we've all been impacted to some degree with cancer. It sucks, but I think there's also you see some stories surrounding that people have overcome a lot. Families are overcoming a lot, and you also just see these stories of great strength and toughness and hope that hopefully are encouraging to other people as well.
That's great. Thanks for sharing all of that. We'll have more with Coach Diebler when we continue with our weekly show presented by Roosters on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
There's one medical team in Central Ohio skilled enough to care for your favorite Ohio State team, and Buckeyes everywhere. The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center is your choice for the most highly specialized orthopedic and sports medicine care. Our surgeons, physicians, and physical therapists have access to the most advanced treatments and and innovative recovery approaches to get you back in your game. Because on or off the field, our team is your team. The choice for your orthopedic care is clear.
Hi, this is Paul Keels. This Buckeye season, don't let a broken windshield ruin your game plan. Safelite Auto Glass makes it easy to get your windshield fixed with their mobile glass shops all over Central Ohio. They can come to you anywhere, giving Buckeye fans more time for game time. OH? Man, I love that. Schedule at safelite.com. Safelite Auto Glass is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
Ready? It doesn't matter if you're playing hard or working hard. Your workout only works out if you recover right. Chocolate milk helps you recover for what comes next. It's delicious and contains the right mix of protein and carbs to help refuel exhausted muscles. From biking to bench presses, Milk's protein helps you build lean muscle and gain more from your workouts.
Ready? Recover. Repeat. Brought to you by the American Dairy Association Mideast, a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Around here, it's all-wheel drive all year round, and Toyota has more all-wheel drive choices than anyone. Now through February 2nd, get 2.99 APR financing on remaining new 25 Tacomas. Excludes TRD Pro and Trailhunter. Or lease a well-equipped 25 Tacoma SR5 for $279 a month for 36 months with $39.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Everybody knows that Roosters is a fun, casual joint with their award-winning waitstaff, great food, fun, and laughter. It's a quick stop on the way home to sit back and unwind. It's a front row seat to the big game. Roosters is where you, your family, and friends can order pizzas, sandwiches, salads, and more. And the home of award-winning wings that are fresh, never frozen, and so big you won't believe it. It's your family's other dinner table. Roosters, a fun, casual joint, and the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Forever starts with the perfect diamond. Hi, it's Alex Johnson from the Diamond Cellar, and for over 78 years, our family has helped generations of couples celebrate love with brilliance, quality, and unbeatable prices. At Diamond Cellar, bigger diamonds and better prices are our promise to you. Whether you're popping the question or upgrading your sparkle, trust the experts. Because diamonds, they're our forte. Visit us at Diamond Cellar on Sawmill Road or at Easton Town Center and learn more at diamondcellar.com.
Your home for Ohio State Athletics. The Fan. Now back to the Jake Diebler Show, presented by Roosters on the Ohio State Sports Network. Presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
The Roosters Foundation helps raise over $1 million each year for local charities and organizations and is the official wing sponsor of your Ohio State Buckeyes. The Roosters Foundation is donating $25 for every foul shot the Buckeyes make at home this season to the Down Syndrome Association of Central Ohio, providing support and opportunities to families and individuals living with Down syndrome. And welcome back to our show this week with Ohio State head coach Jake Diebler. We'll go back to our Union Home Mortgage inbox list of questions. James in Canton asking about the balance you achieve when John Mobley, Bruce Thornton, Devin Royal are all scoring and doing the things that they do that make things go. How do you go about trying to further develop that, if that's maybe the right way to say that?
Well, listen, I mean, there's no doubt we're our most dynamic offensively when those three guys are rolling. And I think part of my job is, you know, as the game is establishing itself and the flow of the game is happening, figuring out, okay, maybe if one of those guys don't have it going, how do we put them in a position to be successful? How do we get them going? You know, and we try to do that with some set play calls and putting guys in position to be successful. You know, and at that point, it's up right to the player to step up and make some plays. So the good thing we have is we got a team who shares the ball well. You know, we got a team who enjoys, I think, creating opportunities for each other. But make no mistake, we're our best when those three are all rolling, and it's double figures, you know, for each guy. All three are involved in other ways, assists, you know, getting to the free throw line. It doesn't necessarily have to be 20, and 20, right? But it's double figures for those three guys is important for us.
Coach, we've asked this question before, or at least I think I have, regarding Bruce Thornton and him getting going. In the Michigan game, I believe he didn't score his first basket until the 12-minute mark, and then last night, 13-minute. You don't want to force anything, but how do you help him to kind of get more involved early, if that's a appropriate question, or does he continue to just let the game come to him, or do you want him to be more aggressive?
Yes, we want him to be more aggressive. There's two ways. Sometimes it's coaching him hard, right? And there was a little bit of that last night. And other times it's calling plays for him to put him in a position to be even, almost like forcing him to be attacking, right? So that's the approach. I think that sometimes it's just dialogue, like and it doesn't always have to be hard coach. Sometimes like, hey man, like come on, be aggressive. Other times it's a little more aggressive coaching than that, right? But he's great. I mean, he's. I said this last night. He's one of the toughest guys I've ever been around, and I think he sometimes I think is a little bit slow to identify what the game's requiring in that moment.
Is that being too unselfish?
I think so. I think at times he is. I think sometimes he's a little too almost protective of the ball. Like he could take some more chances, but he's he does so much, I think, for us, and he's been a high level performer all season long. So it's he'll get this thing back to where he was here real quickly. We need him to. We've talked about that, and you say that and you're like, oh man, we won his bet. He had 5 assists, no turnovers, and what do you have, like 3 steals, I think, too. So
he still did pretty good.
Still did pretty good. Yeah, still did pretty good.
Is that where getting him off the ball is creating some different wrinkles there?
Yeah, well, I think it gives us, it makes us harder to guard when we have other playmakers out there and we utilize them. When John's playmaking it like he has been, it's really good. Tilly as a playmaker is really good for us. Devin, this is an area he's got to continue to improve in. But I think when we have multiple guys who are out there creating for each other, it's when we're hardest to guard, certainly.
There's a lineup. I don't think I've seen this lineup yet, but when Tilly comes back, Taysom continues to shoot the ball with confidence. You got Thornton, Mobley, Royal, Chapman, and Tilly out there. That'd be tough to guard.
It should be, yeah. There's no doubt. It should be. And I think, we got versatility when we're healthy. We didn't have as much versatility in our lineups last night. But, I think for us, what we've needed, and we've talked about it, is we need more bench production.
No doubt.
And we need guys to step up. Certainly that has potential to be a dynamic offensive lineup because you got a ton of playmaking out there at that point.
Defensively, you forced 18 turnovers last night for a team that averages about 9. What'd you see that kind of led into all of that last evening?
Yeah, I thought our activity and pressure on the ball was better. We did a better job collapsing on drives there at times, and we got to continue to convert at a high rate when we do turn teams over. But it's been a point of emphasis for us, these last few games, is trying to generate more opportunities in transition through turning teams over, getting deflections. So we got to keep getting better at it. And last night was a great step forward in that regard.
When you look at Amari Bynum, Coach, he struggled a little bit, but he's a freshman. What were some of the things you saw from him that allowed him to be as productive as he was?
Well, he had his best practice in a while the day before the game. His energy, flying around, physicality, aggressive, and I thought it carried over to the game. And listen, what we asked him to do last night for a young player is like it was a tall ask, and he stepped up. And I thought, aside from maybe a segment there in the second half where he just didn't quite have the same pop, he played really well, and I don't think it's an accident because I think he had a great practice the day before. So he and I talked today, like let's keep that part going. Let's keep practicing like that, and you earn it, and he did. So he got that was the Amari. Last night I thought that had been so consistent all year, and he was. I suppose he had earned also, an ability to maybe not be his best, and like he has really all year. His approach, his consistency, his response was really impressive.
We'll talk more when we continue with Coach Jake Diebler in our weekly show presented by Roosters on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Buckeye fans, choose chill. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. It's got that crisp, refreshing taste that makes those moments when you choose to rise above the noise and choose chill even better. Coors Light is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, so crack one open and take a sip. Coors Light, choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado, beer.
Hey, Ohio State fans, are you looking to score big with your home equity? Union Home Mortgage will help you unlock the value of your home and fund the promises you've made to yourself and your family. If you need to pay off debt, have home improvements, or whatever your family needs are, visit UHM.com and score financial freedom with Union Home Mortgage, the official home lending sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Union Home Mortgage Corp. is an equal housing opportunity lender and MLS number 2229.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, two-time Heisman Trophy winner. The right coverage can be a game changer, both on and off the court. That's why Encova Insurance is prepared for what's next and protects what matters most to you. With independent insurance agents in your neighborhood and innovative insurance products that can be tailored to fit your unique needs, Encova Insurance is an easy win for your peace of mind. For auto, home, and business insurance, you want Encova on your team. Visit Encova.com today to find an agent near you.
AgPro has been family owned and operated for over 64 years. We take pride in developing long-lasting relationships and offering first-class customer service. Need a new tractor, parts for your used equipment, or reliable service? AgPro has you covered. AgPro is here to serve you and your operation as your hometown dealer. Visit us today at any of our AgPro locations or go online to agproco.com to get started with your AgPro experience.
Enjoy more ways to save at Kroger, like low prices in every aisle. And when you download the Kroger app, you can clip and save more with digital coupons every week. Plus, you can earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. At Kroger, you can enjoy more ways to save and more rewards every time you shop. So it's always easy to save big every day with savings and rewards. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Fuel restrictions apply. See site for details.
When you're here, you understand what it means to be a Buckeye. And at Elk & Elk, we're proud to wear scarlet and gray every Saturday. Every client, every day, means if you're ever injured, we're proud to stand with you in court. And when you're here at the shoe, we're proud to stand with you and cheer on the Buckeye.
Whether we're here at the big game or in court, we are committed to you.
Elk & Elk, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Your home of the Buckeyes. The Fan. Your home for Buckeye basketball. This is the Jake Diebler Show, presented by Roosters on the Ohio State Sports Network. Presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Union Home Mortgage is the official home lending sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Learn about their 1% down payment program at UHM.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS number 2229. And welcome back to our show today as Ohio State comes off last night's win over Penn State and gets ready to play Saturday at Wisconsin. We talked a little bit, but with Puff Johnson, what he's done in the last couple of games, and last night when you really needed him more. You've said, Jake, there's a specific plan for him, but just what are kind of the things that you've seen him embrace in a hurry about trying to get into the role here?
Well, I think he's a connector when he's on the court. He's a great communicator, just plays really hard and has some versatility. I thought his activity on the glass was really good. Defensively, he did some good things, and it was good to see him get some shots up, you know. And you know, I think he needs reps. That's the most important thing. He's picking things up quickly. He's working really hard, studying film and meeting with coaches and things. So, you know, I think he's getting more and more in game shape, which is different. Like, he came in really well conditioned, but playing in a game is different. So, you know, I think it's just continuing to embrace those things will help him and us.
Is there minutes formula with all of this?
Yeah, there's not a hard line right now. There's a range that we've tried to stay with in the first couple games. And, some of it is too, like, I think depending on kind of the flow of the game, right, there's certain situations that maybe it's not even fair to put him into. And so try to be mindful of that as well. But mostly it's been kind of staying on this plan of just, not putting them out there for 25 minutes of gameplay yet, just kind of building up.
At Michigan, against the top 4 team in the country, his first game in a year, coach, a team averaging 97 points a game, whatever. That was a tough ask. I'm sure he's glad he was put in the game, but my goodness, I'm like, what can you expect? People don't realize timing is so important in any sport activity. But for him his first game back in that environment.
Yeah, well, I think it's just play hard and talk. Like that was really all we expecting. We just needed you to defend.
Yeah, that's true.
And rebound. And so, they have unique size. He's a bigger perimeter player. So.
But he can't get experience until he gets out there. Every minute that he plays is going to help.
That's right.
Speaking of the Michigan thing, I want to go back to something, and you talked about it a little bit last week, but important to bring back up again, how both you and Coach May talked with the conference about wanting to make that a protected rivalry so that it's home and home. And that's got to be a great thing for fans, and it's got to be great from your standpoint that the conference listened.
Yeah. For me, it was – when we played them once last year and we went out to our Big Ten coaches meetings, I talked to our basketball representatives conference and I complained. It just didn't make sense to me. They said, go talk to Dusty, see what he thinks. That was an easy conversation. Coach, I agree. Like, what are we doing? We went back, united front, and we're able to get it done. Hopefully it continues after this year. Our fans deserve it. It's such a big-time game. It's what college sports is all about, that level of game. So it's not fair to either fan base to only play that, once in the other team's arena. Both deserve to have that game at home each year. And so, hopefully it stays that way moving forward.
Coach, you had made a comment that you and Dusty may have crossed paths before, Coach, in the SEC together. How do you meet and see each other? Is it out recruiting? Obviously during the games when you're coaching against each other, but what are some of the other activities where you're able to develop relationships?
Yeah, a lot of it's out recruiting. I think that's a big part of it. You end up sitting next to each other, you recruit against each other, you talk during the season, whether it's about scouting things that maybe you can pick up and stuff. So he and I had a relationship before being in these positions. Relationship's a little different now, but I think there's a great deal of respect there, certainly both ways.
Darren and Coshocton with our next question from our Union Home Mortgage inbox list of questions, and this has to do with trying to get people ready to play on the road with what you've got coming up, including a neutral site game. Just what are some of the things that you talk to the players about having their minds right when they play away from home?
Well, I think, we utilize – it's interesting when you're on the road, especially during the week, you actually have more time to prepare than maybe, when class is going on and things. So we utilize that time, whether it's we'll walk through stuff in the hotel and watch and film. But, I think for us, we talk a lot about, the controllables, your toughness, how connected you are as a team, your ability to handle in-game adversity. Because you see those certainly at a higher level, I think, in a hostile environment. And this team, and really even going back to last year, I thought we handled that, pretty well, and we've handled it well so far. And listen, we got to continue to handle it well and even better. I think we're striving to be even better on the road. So you got to be tough. You got to be able to execute, with louder crowds, tougher moments. This team's built for it, and it's going to be important down the stretch.
Coach, in your path to becoming a head coach, you've coached under some really good coaches in your career. And I know firsthand, I see your interaction with your players. What are some of the things that are important to you as you're on the road with your team to make sure they understand the connection?
Well, I think, if first off, you got to be genuine, you got to be authentic with them and tell them the truth. I think we have guys who want to be coached and want to know the truth. And ultimately, Ron, time, they know how busy, I am, the limited time that I have. So they know that if I'm spending it with them, that, they're important to me. And so I spend as much time as I can with them. When I was here with Thad, he, during the season, kind of worked out of the locker room. And that's what I do. I spend most of my time down there because that's where our players are. And it could be little 5-minute conversations here. Hey, let's go grab some lunch there, and that interaction I think is critical because ultimately, my job is to serve this program and our players as well as I possibly can. And, it takes time to do that. So I want to commit as much time as possible, to those guys. And I got a great staff that allows me to do that they can work on some other stuff so I can be with our players.
We'll talk more with Coach Diebler when we continue with our show presented by Roosters on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hi, this is Paul Keels. This Buckeye season, don't let a broken windshield ruin your game plan. Safelite Auto Glass makes it easy to get your windshield fixed with their mobile glass shops all over Central Ohio. They can come to you anywhere, giving Buckeye fans more time for game time. OH? Man, I love that. Schedule at SafeLight.com. Safelite Auto Glass is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
SafeLight Repair, SafeLight Replace.
When it comes to your cancer diagnosis, the choice for your care is clear.
And when you choose the James at Ohio State,
you're opting for care from a highly specialized team dedicated to treating one type of cancer, yours.
A team that studies the unique makeup of your disease to develop a personalized treatment plan.
You're choosing our region's only comprehensive cancer center designated by the National Cancer Institute.
For your cancer care, the choice is clear. The James at Ohio State.
Hey, Buckeye fans. Are you thinking of consolidating your debt with a home equity loan? Union Home Mortgage wants you to know the average homeowner has over $200,000 of home equity available, and they can help you get access to your money quickly and easily. Go to UHM.com to get your cash estimate today. You'll score financial freedom with Union Home Mortgage, the official home lending sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Union Home Mortgage Corp. is an equal housing opportunity lender. NMLS number 2229.
At Ohio State, we are the never afraid to innovate teams, the agile, get it done teams, the achieve more together teams, and the improve people's lives teams. Together, we are the Ohio State University.
Learn more about Ohio State at osu.edu/impact.
For over 37 years, Buckeye Nation has known Hyde Park Prime Steakhouse for serving the best steaks in the city. Our thick-cut, aged steaks are a staple in Columbus, with 3 locations in Upper Arlington, Dublin, and downtown. And just like the Buckeyes, we strive for excellence and an experience like no other. Hyde Park is proud to introduce the newly added wine room at our downtown Columbus location, where a new elegance in dining surrounds you, creating the ideal setting for any occasion. Or the pick night out. Hyde Park is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
Around here, it's all-wheel drive all year round, and Toyota has more all-wheel drive choices than anyone. Now through February 2nd, you can get $5,000 customer cash on remaining new 25 Tundras, or get 0.99 APR financing on Tundra plus $1,000 TFS APR cash. With approved credit through TFS, excludes TRD Pro. APR cash must be applied to deal. For complete details, go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Everybody knows that Roosters is a fun, casual joint with their award-winning waitstaff, great food, fun, and laughter. It's a quick stop on the way home to sit back and unwind. It's a front row seat to the big game. Roosters is where you, your family, and friends can order pizzas, sandwiches, salads, and more. And the home of award-winning wings that are fresh, never frozen, and so big you won't believe it. It's your family's other dinner table. Roosters, a fun, casual joint, and the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. You're listening to the Jake Diebler Show, presented by Roosters on the Ohio State Sports Network. Presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State athletics.
Buckeyes are known for paying it forward. That's why Buckeyes Care strives to serve the betterment of our community by positively impacting families across Ohio. Join partners American Electric Power, Kroger, Donato, the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the James Cancer Hospital, Huntington Bank, and WBNS-TV in Columbus, and supporting this cause at ohiostatebuckeyes.com/BuckeyesCare. And thanks for joining us this week. Ohio State, following last night's victory, will be on the road Saturday afternoon, 2 o'clock tip-off, playing in Madison against Wisconsin. Jake, a word or two, if you would, about the Badgers, what you see from them.
Yeah, dynamic offensive team. You know, I think there's no question about it. They can really shoot the ball. You see some of the games, some of their 3-point make numbers really impressive. You know, they play really well together. They're led by their 2 guards. You know, big time backcourt, and should be a good, hard fought, classic Big Ten road battle. So we're excited. Big opportunity for us certainly to pick up a big win, and yeah, we'll be ready.
Coach, when you look at Coach Gard's teams, what do you typically know you're going to expect from him every single year?
A lot of ball screens these last couple of years. It's interesting. He made a shift from, you know, Wisconsin had that traditional swing offense that everybody knew, and he shifted from that to being ball screen heavy, and they've obviously had success with it here these last couple of years. So, you know, big change for those of us who have been around and always knew Wisconsin to kind of play one way. And you know, I think they've done a good job in the transfer portal, bringing in some impactful guys. He's a good coach, and you know, they're traditional power in the Big Ten. So you know, anytime Ohio State plays Wisconsin, it's going to be a battle.
Faster pace.
Yeah, I think they are. Yeah, no question about it. That the change in style of offense has allowed them to play faster. Their guard play, they push the pace at a high level. They got, you know, multiple guys out there, guys with size that can make shots. So really, really good team.
You know, it's interesting, Coach. You talked earlier about players wanting to be coach hard, and UCLA came in this building, they got beat, and a lot was said about their coach, what he said to his team afterwards, right?
Or about them.
But then fast forward, they go home and they beat Purdue. And then I'm listening to all their players interview, and they're all saying they're appreciative that their coach was honest with them and pushed them. Now I don't know how much all of that's true, but they did perform after he really got on them.
You know, I think when you're at this level, you got to be motivated, and you got to be a high achiever to be a great player at this level. Part of being a high achiever is wanting to know the truth. Certainly, accountability is a part of that, but also having self-awareness, which allows you to absorb that truth. And we have that in our program. We recruit guys who, you know, want to be great, because I think that allows you to coach them harder and better. And so you're seeing it across the country where, you know, coaches are able to push guys because they want to be great. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a really key component. And also loving to hoop. It's part of it too. Like, I think finding guys who love to hoop might not be as easy as it used to be, but there's plenty out there, and you can build a roster full of them, and I feel like we have that too.
Rick in Newark with a question from our Union Home Mortgage inbox. 20 games into the season, how do you feel having the coach's challenge has made a difference one way or another?
I like it. I think we're doing pretty good with it. There's strategy involved, certainly. Like last night, Paul, we were talking off air about the goaltending, and because we had a successful challenge, I didn't want to use my last opportunity to challenge in that moment, because my angle I wasn't 100% sure, and we didn't get a film result in time. But looking back on film, probably one that we could have got right there again. But you know, I think it's good. You know, it's a good thing to have. I think officials have adjusted to it well, too. So we continue to try to utilize it, certainly.
And important to point out, too, you only get 2 of them. So if you had done that, even successful, you wouldn't have had another one later.
Yeah, that's correct. And I just wanted to save it in that moment, because I I wasn't sure. I think if you're going to use them early, you got to be sure, like we were with the one in front of our bench. Had a pretty clear view. Junie was adamant about that. I just tell our guys, like, don't. If you're not 100%, just tell me you're not. You can be 90. Just tell me you're 90. Don't say you're 100% if you're not 100%, Ron.
So far, I'm not sure if you know the number, how many you've tried and won, and then what guys have lost, you've lost confidence in telling you the truth.
Well, let's just say I know our team really well, so some guys I consider who's delivering the message, but I think we've been pretty good with our challenges. Yeah,
absolutely. And just like everything in the game, it happens so fast, and that's got to be kind of the challenge with it all.
It does, and I think there's this perception that you just have this iPad that immediately shows you the perfect angle. That's not the case, so you're making decisions on the fly. Some of it's gut, some of it's trusting your players, but we've been pretty good at it so far.
Absolutely. So. Thanks as always, and we look forward to going to Madison this weekend.
All right, thanks, guys. Go
Thanks
Bucks.
for listening today to the Jake Diebler Show, presented by Roosters and brought to you statewide by Encova Insurance and by the American Dairy Association Middies. Join us Saturday as Ohio State plays at Wisconsin. Our pregame coverage begins at 1:15 p.m. For Skip Mossick, Cole Bartimus, Ron Stokes, and Coach Jake Diebler, this is Paul Keels. Thanks for listening to the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State athletics.